There are those among us who will use inferior video cassettes to watch their favorite programs. But then again, there are those who have seen the light and will only use TDK's famous Super Avalon cassettes. Whether it's films, drama, or sport, nothing captures those memorable moments with greater clarity, color, or more stunning reality than Super Avalon videotape from TDK, the great name in tape cassettes.
Hello and welcome to Trailer Epics. My name's Nick Wenham, and this great edition, once again kindly made possible by TDK, the great name in tape cassettes, and Lightning, one of the country's leading wholesalers, is being shot on location at the UK corporate headquarters of Embassy Home Entertainment. In only 2 years, Embassy Home Entertainment has established itself as a major force in the home video market. The Los Angeles-based company distributes video cassettes through its own operating companies in the USA, UK, Germany, and Japan, and through licensees and distributors in all the other major territories. From its London office in Sloane Square, the company handles the entire international operation for all territories outside of North America. Embassy Home Entertainment is assured of a regular supply of major motion pictures from its sister company, Embassy Pictures, as exemplified by the recent box office hit, Champions, currently, of course, a top 10 video renter, and previously very favourably reviewed by me on Trailer Epics, and the crazy comedy Spinal Tap, shortly due for video release. Future films include the widely acclaimed Chorus Line, directed by Richard Attenborough, and John Boorman's eagerly awaited Emerald Forest, both currently in production. In addition to its own in-house product, Embassy has recently acquired a number of major motion pictures from independent producers, such as Cotton Club, starring Richard Gere and Bob Hoskins, The Clan of Cave Bear, with Splash star Daryl Hannah, and most recently, Prizzi's Honor, the latest Jack Nicholson movie. These acquisitions will receive major theatrical exposure through the Rank Cinema chain, thus paving the way for their future video release. Cotton Club in particular has already received a great deal of press coverage, and it's one I am keen and eagerly looking forward to seeing. The video launch of Embassy's wacky masterpiece, This Is Spinal Tap, was described by one national film critic as the most sustained spoof movie since Airplane. The film follows the insane rock band Spinal Tap on their disaster-laden, soon-to-be legendary cross-country tour of America. Along with the press and key trade personnel, pop stars including top heavy metal band Motorhead and DJs Gary Crowley and Greg Edwards have turned out to see the film which everyone is raving about. In addition to Spinal Tap, Embassy has a wide range of product currently on video release or in the pipeline for the next few months. Just released is Reuben Reuben, starring Tom Conti as the drunken, womanizing poet in a film which won Conti an Oscar nomination for his performance and was recommended by The Sun as their comedy video choice. For release later this month are Highest Honor and Heart Sounds. Highest Honor is a gripping and exciting war drama telling the true story of the heroic bravery of a small commando unit captured following a raid on a Singapore harbour. Heart Sounds is a deeply moving tale of the power of love and the will to survive, starring James Garner and Mary Tyler Moore. The story tells of a couple who are forced to fight to preserve his life and their love following his heart attack. For release in March, along with Spinal Tap, is The Tales from the Dark Side, a series of spine-tingling chillers produced by horror master George Romero, based on stories by such well-known authors as Stephen King. For April release, there's Double Play and Nairobi. Double Play is a comedy about an aging actor trying to stay young in order to appear in his wife's latest play, starring screen favourites Christopher Plummer and Maggie Smith. Nairobi is an action-adventure set in Kenya. Charlton Heston, John Savage, and Maud Adams form the three corners of an eternal triangle set against a background of illegal big game hunting. Well, That's the news from Embassy Home Entertainment. But before you settle down to enjoy the trailers, we've specially arranged to give you an insight into the business of video. We're off now to Wardour Street, in the heart of London's West End, to see and meet a few key industry people at Embassy's press preview of Spinal Tap, and to record live their comments on the film. The film is now over. Guests are now beginning to come out, so we'll interview a few of them and see what they felt about it all. Peter, what did you think of the film?
Oh, it's terrific. I saw it a couple of months ago on the big screen. I've seen it about 5 times since. It's one of my favourites.
So it looks like you're going to be recommending this one pretty heavily.
Oh, yeah, we'll give it a good review. I think it'll go down very well. It's very much like Young Doctor in Love. It'll sort of take off on video.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Nick.
Steve Hurst, Deputy Editor of Video Week, again, a leading trade journal for the video industry. Steve, what did you think of the film?
I thought it was excellent, Nick. Very, very funny. It's easy to be satirical, but not very easy to be funny as well. And I thought it had the satire, had the humour, had everything. A laugh a minute.
Great.
Good film. Very good film.
You feel it's sort of going to be the kind of film that you would recommend to dealers?
I personally would, yeah. Yeah, I think heavy music people will really love it, but people who don't like heavy music will find it funny as well. Excellent satire, basically.
Terrific.
Superb individual performances. I really enjoyed it.
It's an unusual film, Spinal Tap, a spoof movie on people like Motorhead. What are your own feelings about the film? Did you enjoy it?
It's my kind of film, yeah.
So it's a sort of title, again, that you would recommend?
I would certainly recommend it to any store with that kind of membership, and should be promoted towards the youth audience. Anybody that likes the young ones, that kind of thing, will really enjoy this film.
Good fun, then. Thank you very much indeed. What did you think of the film? Do you think it worked? Was it funny?
I thought it was hysterical. The all-important thing is going to be how they market it, because I reckon that it ought to be one of those movies that can sell to or rent to people from 15 to actually 50. As long as they've got a fairly broad mind, it should be good. It just depends if they're going to limit it to the cult audience or if they're going to go for the wider appeal.
So it's the sort of film that initially might be misconstrued as being only good for young people. But you really believe it's the sort of film that would be great for everyone with a wide sense of humour?
Well, quite honestly, in the preview theatre there were people there who were a good 50 years old, and they weren't all super trendy people, and they were laughing all the way through, and I was too. So.
Great. Well, thank you very much indeed, Richard. Nice to see you again, and congratulations on your new appointment.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Bye-bye. Richard Larkham, currently Deputy Editor of Video Trade Weekly, and as you heard, shortly due to become editor. Well, that about wraps it up here. We'll go back now to the Embassy Home Entertainment boardroom and continue on with the show.
Spits and hisses in my father's sleep.
He's a senseless drunk, a callous womanizer. He's the worst-dressed man in Woodsmoke. And he's a poet who hasn't written a word of poetry in 5 years. But somehow, women find Gowan McGland irresistible.
Could you just point out the nymphomaniacs to me?
Not to worry, they'll make themselves known.
That the poet fella been raping all the women in Woodsmoke?
Yep. You'll have to wait your turn, Mayor. Even though your stay here is limited, we want you to feel a member of our congregation.
Certainly, who's she?
With Kelly McGillis as Geneva, and starring Tom Conte in his highly acclaimed and Oscar-nominated role as Gowan McGland. All the women wanted Gowan, but only she understood him.
You look absolutely fabulous.
Oh, thank you. And she does look beautiful. Just to be in the same spirit-chilling edifice, to breathe the same stale air as the strapping girl.
Even as a sexual anarchist, must you go on grabbing, and again grabbing?
Well, doesn't it bother you that you're almost as well known as a womanizer? You are a poet.
No. What bothers me is that neither pays very well.
Is Gowan McGland a hopeless loser or a helpless lover? And can he live long enough to write his last immortal poem? Reuben Reuben.
You may applaud now, I'm finished.
War, the scourge of mankind. It provokes the vilest crimes and the greatest courage.
Now we have a Japanese boat. They're flying the Japanese flag. If we are captured, there's every possibility that we'll be executed as spies.
From the paradox of war come many true stories. Few so extraordinary, so deeply moving, as this friendship between two adversaries.
Then you must call me Minoru.
But I thought you blokes only used first names with very close friends.
Yes. That is our way.
The interpreter. The commando. Neither will betray his country. Somehow, they must not betray each other.
I trusted you, Tamina.
In our circumstances, it is very difficult to be friends, but we must try.
Here is a story about loyalty, mateship, and daring.
You fellas pull out, I'll hold them up here.
About commitment and sacrifice.
Is it true that your men fired on one of our police patrol boats while your junk was flying the Japanese flag?
We have blown it!
Were you carrying out orders from your superiors when you did these things?
No. We made our own decisions. We made the attack on Singapore.
What?
Oh, you mustn't tell anybody about this. You would be putting a noose around your own neck.
We knew the risks.
This court sentences all of the accused to death.
The enemy is now a friend. The friend is now an enemy. The moment of truth has come.
Cardiac patient says, will I be able to have sex, doctor? And the doctor says, yes, but only with your wife. I don't want you to get too
excited, yeah. Sexist joke.
Presenting an intimate true story about personal courage. Heart Sounds, directed by Glenn Jordan and combining the talents of Mary Tyler Moore and James Garner for the first time. Their marriage was built on the strength of a lasting love, but it wasn't their love that would let them down.
No. I missed you. It'll be all right. It'll be just like it was.
But on the other side of the operating table, Lear comes face to face with the profession he fears.
Those x-rays were ordered. What are you trying to do, cause trouble?
What?
Look, you got no right to call down to X-ray and talk to my people down there.
That's the wrong room. Well, what if it was the right room? Is that any way to talk to a cardiac patient? Any patient? What are they teaching you in medical school? Arrogance?
Every day you're getting better. It's a miracle.
I think we've turned a corner, Mushy. I can feel the strength coming back. I can feel all the juices starting to flow again. And I mean all the juices.
Normal to get short of breath walking 20 yards?
He's a cardiologist.
What do you think?
I think that anything that feels as bad can't be good.
You may feel a flush. Feeling it?
Yeah. It's like I'm on fire inside. I'm having pain. Massive pain.
Chances of recurrence?
There's no telling.
But you must have some idea. I mean, there must be studies, surely.
You reporters. What do you want to know all that for?
Don't worry, I'll keep you informed.
I wasn't sure you'd remember.
Michael and I remember.
To my mushy. And the next 15. With my luck.
Heart sounds.
Through 2 decades, 17 classic albums, countless unforgettable concert triumphs, they changed the face of British rock music forever. And the best part is, they're back.
Get out there, you're on!
Now, they're on the verge of the greatest comeback of all time.
Rock and roll!
This is their moment.
Right straight through the store here, down the hall. Yeah. Turn right.
Their time has come.
Rock and roll!
Any minute now. Any second.
Hello, stage.
I think we're lost. A little jog there, about 30 feet. Jog to the left. We don't have time for that.
Get ready. Get set.
Direct from hell, Spinal Tap.
Heavy metal's deep. You can get stuff out of it.
My name is Marty DeBerge. I'm a filmmaker.
One man dares to probe the hidden secrets.
I was just pointing at it.
Well, don't point even.
Don't even point?
No, it can't be played. Never. I mean,
Can I look at it?
One man dares to hear the shocking answers.
It's tragic, really. He exploded on stage.
The questions like, is the world really ready for Spinal Tap?
You put a greased, naked woman on all fours with a dog collar around her neck and a leash. And pushing a black glove in her face to sniff it. You don't find that offensive?
No,
you don't find that sexist?
Well, you should have
Listen
seen
to
the
me.
cover they wanted to do.
After years of vicious gossip,
The official explanation was he choked on vomit. Well, they can't prove whose vomit it was.
years of ugly rumors,
It's a passing thing. This is a fact.
And you are Spinal Tap?
Oh, what's going on here? Hi.
now the vicious, ugly truth can be told.
Well, I'm sure I'd feel much worse if I weren't under such heavy sedation.
Tap into America.
From the place where eardrums go to die come the living legends of rock and roll lunacy. This is Spinal Tap.
You know, it's like Hemingway said, you know, remember them as they were and write them off.
I said I'd give you $1 million for all the rights to your eternal soul.
I've come to fulfill the contract. I've brought you my soul.
Go away! Go!
Double or nothing on your life. You should never underestimate the powers of the human will.
Nobody's gonna say I'm dead when I ain't.
Rest in peace, that's what you should be doing.
I told you I ain't dead so many times, I'm blue in the face.
Now that's the truth.
You must accept the power of the cards.
These cards have a power, Pat. It's like they're alive. What is it? What do you want from me?
It can't possibly work.
I wouldn't bet on that till you try it.
My
have to do is murder your wife.
Mom? I don't understand. Who are you?
Please don't do this to me, Mother.
Hi, Dad. I came to get you. Surprised?
I think you've got me mixed up with somebody else, kid.
Do you mean to say that you don't know your own son?
I don't have a son named Jerry.
Trick or treat.
There's something living in that closet, Dr. Fenner.
The dark and peaceful heart of Africa is broken by the hungry greed of ruthless poachers. Greed that Rick has sworn to wipe out.
If I had a Kenyan who was a Green Beret in Vietnam, he'd be out of a job.
But he reckoned without the torments of incestuous jealousy, leading him into a triangle of love and hatred.
I loved her as well as I could.
You broke her heart.
When a marriage breaks, only two people know the reasons. They don't always know.
Leave me alone. Get out of here. Oh, go away, Rick. Leave me alone. You move your foot. Rick, move your foot!
Rick is pulled into a ring of black market hunting. Criminals that can only be broken by justice. But someone wants to stop him.
These guys know I'm after him, and they're fast.
Whoever you find, you may turn over to the Maasai or dispose of them yourself.
Starring Charlton Heston, John Savage, Maud Adams, and John Rhys Davis.
All right, there has been a mix-up.
There's no mix-up. There's a screw-up.
This is a mission in a wild and dangerous territory, controlled by the rule of the gun. Experience a safari to the savage heart of Africa, Nairobi.
He's actor Fitzroy Wynn, she's writer Lily Wynn. It all begins with her third film script.
It's the best part you've ever written for me.
Fitz, darling, Fitz, come and sit down for a moment.
Just where did you get the chutzpah to tell my wife that role was not for me?
I told her because it's true.
It was made for me. It's mine.
Ah, what do you know? You're an actor. This role was made for a marmalade. Leave it to the sweet guys.
I can be sweet!
I found your leading man.
No. Who?
His name is Roberto Terranova.
Can he act?
Oh, we had him read. I mean, it's the kind of acting that doesn't seem like acting. The camera loves him.
Jerry tells me you're from the north of Italy.
Is true? Parma.
Yes, that's where the hams come from.
It's true.
But things take a hilarious turn as Fitz's deception shows all the signs of becoming a location romance with his own wife.
Can't you see what's going on, you cankerous cretin? She doesn't know it's me. My wife is kissing another man on his mouth.
Christopher Plummer,
Jerry!
Maggie Smith.
If you want to play the woman, the part is yours.
As of tomorrow, Fitzroy Wynn will no longer be in this...
I'm terribly sorry.
No, but if he is so stupid and such a shithead, why you stay with him?
Now that is a very good question.
Double play.
Spurred on by the success of The Man with Two Brains, which you'll remember I reviewed in the last issue of Trailer Epics as being brilliantly funny, Warner Home Video have come up with another title receiving its UK premiere on video, called Deal of the Century. Chevy Chase plays Ed Muntz, a freelance arms dealer who handles such oddball weaponry as a Sony Walkman that instantly converts to a machine pistol and a nuclear missile you could launch from your own back garden. Also soaring Signore Weaver of Alien and Ghostbusters fame and Gregory Hines, Deal of the Century is a must for everyone with even the smallest sense of black humour. The House Where Evil Dwells is a haunted house horror, Japanese style. The story covers the rather gruesome adventures of a young American couple played by Susan George and Doug McClure. 140 years after a sinister and rather gory double killing took place, they move into a house in old Japan. Heedless of dire warnings of lurking ghosts, they rapidly wish, of course, that they had taken notice. Also on offer in the nail-biting category are two Roger Corman films, Monster and Galaxy of Terror. The course of true love never does run true, and this is certainly proven in Soup for One. Alan Martin is young, unmarried, unattached, unloved, and hot on the trail of the perfect girl. Unfortunately, of course, this perfect girl exists only in Alan's dreams. All in all, Soup for One is a superb send-up of everything the swinging singles scene holds sacred. Finally, from Warner Home Video, Hearts and Armour, an exquisitely photographed fantasy tale of medieval chivalry, magic, honour and passion in the tradition of Excalibur. The film tells of the warfare between Christian knights and Saracen warriors and the inevitable love affairs which eventually unite the camps. In addition to the superb art direction and photography, Hearts and Armour boasts excellent performances from the central characters. Barbara de Rossi is very appealing, and one-time Charlie's Angels star Tanya Roberts is strikingly provocative as Angelica, whose dress is ripped revealingly in the opening sequences and not repaired until the final scene. Watch out, too, for quite the most imaginative and varied armour designs ever to grace the screen.
I'm Eddie Muntz. I'm an arms dealer. And my partners and I are going to make the deal of the century.
Now, here's a little something I kind of enjoy. Let's say you've had a rough day of guerrilla warfare. The revolution's getting bogged down. You're hot, you're tired, you smell like you smell now. This bottle opener on the side here will open bottles of all nationalities. Feliz Navidad.
Where the hell have all the good salesmen gone? Don't answer that management.
Simply lock the target in the sight, and the rest is, well, easy.
Hello.
Order forms are in the catalog, gentlemen. I hope we can do business together.
Mr. Muntz, I believe that your one small sale will help make limited global warfare a reality well into the 90s. And we will all prosper accordingly.
Get the money!
We're in a battle to sell this plane, gentlemen. And the enemy is not Moscow. The enemy is Rockwell, Northrop, Lockheed.
I don't want to be a part of that anymore, Ed.
Take a couple of samples, take them home, see if you like them, let me know how many you need, okay?
I'm gonna give you those touch-ups.
We're gonna show the Pentagon. We'll show the world.
Chevy Chase, Sigourney Weaver, and Gregory Hines are going to make the deal of the century.
Hey, we're not out to stick it to anybody.
Prepare yourself for the ultimate battle. Galaxy of Terror.
Hell has just been relocated. It orbits a burned-out star at the edge of the galaxy.
They're out there.
It's been waiting 1 billion years to scare you to death.
Trapped in a living maze of terror.
What are the odds of us getting out of here?
What are the odds? We lose.
Stranded astronauts Edward Albert and Aaron Moran battle hordes of hideous shadow demons, encounter the razor-sharp living glass, brave the pit of doomed souls, just to discover the only way out is death. Galaxy of terror. The ultimate horror in space.
They were strangers from the West, learning to live in harmony with their new home. Everything seemed perfect. Until they learned the truth about the house where evil dwells.
What are you doing? Are you crazy? Oh, no! No! Stop it!
They were told the stories were only legends. Tales told from generation to generation. It happened 100 years ago, and now it's about to happen again. The house where evil dwells.
In 1975, a team of Canadian scientists investigating the biological implications of single living conducted experiments with laboratory rats. They were dressed in tight-fitting double-knit polyester suits and forced to listen to disco music at high volume. 50 other rats, each coupled with a mate of the opposite sex, were kept in laboratory conditions simulating marriage. Is single living a viable alternative in a couple society?
Ron's gonna be home any minute. Chicken, come on.
Oh, my God.
Mom. Hi, this is Rhonda. Rhonda, this is Mom.
If you want to do that with Rhonda, you will have to wait until you're older and the two of you are married. Do you understand, Alan?
I understand.
What are you doing here?
Just a checkup.
At a gynecologist's office.
It's a second opinion.
Do you have a fire escape? What are you doing here?
My mother lives in this building. She really does. I'm not lying. Wait a minute. Maria, just a second. Maria, hold up. So, this is your apartment?
No, this is my car. I keep my apartment in a safe deposit box downtown.
All I want is to see my only daughter married.
The story of your escape from the sanitarium is probably quite interesting. But look at what you've done. You have attacked my gynecologist.
Oh, manner of speaking, eh?
You've looked at my address in the phone book and ambushed me on the street. Now, wouldn't it just be easier if you just asked me out on a date?
Will you go out to dinner with me tonight?
Not if the fate of mankind hung in the balance.
Was that a yes or a no?
Maria says that marriage is not for her. When you finally give up on Maria, you give me a call and we'll get drunk together.
Alan, I can't go to bed with you.
Why?
Because you're short and you're weird.
Who told you?
When you're looking for love, you find yourself doing some very funny things.
When you're
I think we got something, Harry.
Oh, come on, Jackie, pull it!
They're coming. Monster. A tidal wave of rampaging creatures surges from the dark and violent sea to conquer the earth.
How tall were they? 6.5, maybe 7 feet tall.
There's something sank the buckle, killed our dogs. Now it's attacking humans.
Maybe intelligent enough to perceive man as a competitor.
Soon the world will awake to a terrifying riptide of monsters.
We think we know where these things come from, but we have no idea how many there are.
The Earth plunges into a battle for the survival of the fittest, where man is the endangered species and woman the ultimate prize. Anywhere you run, any place you hide, any time you stop, they will find you. Doug McClure, Ann Turkel, Vic Morrow, Monster.
Once there was a world where legends were forged in a flash of steel. Kingdoms were threatened by a single kiss. Destinies were shaped by a wizard's hand. And armies of iron waged a war for the control of an empire. Warner Brothers presents Hearts and Armor, a tale of fantasy and enchantment, romance and danger, where men cross swords with magic, good overpowers evil, and a princess becomes the greatest warrior of all. Hearts and Armor.
From RCA Columbia, we have 3 new releases: Conan the Destroyer, The Dresser, and The Survivors. Conan the Destroyer is one of the most spectacular films of 1984. This epic film is a non-stop action-adventure movie with some of the most ambitious and thrilling special effects you're ever going to see. It stars Mr. Universe himself as the muscle-rippling Conan Arnold Schwarzenegger. And don't forget to look out for the unusual and striking Grace Jones in her first screen role. I understand there is yet another sequel in the making, but as Arnold himself said, that's another story. The Dresser, winner of 5 Oscar nominations, chosen for the 1984 Royal Command performance, and honoured by the highest critical acclaim, stars 2 of England's finest actors, Albert Finney and Tom Courtenay. Together, they give us a moving, compassionate insight into a touring theatrical company during the war. It vividly portrays the humour, anguish, and friendship between the eccentric actor-manager who faces physical and financial collapse and his devoted dresser, who is fiercely dedicated to getting him ready for his greatest performance. Excellent stuff. And The Survivors, when Walter Matthau and Robin Williams play 2 of life's lovable losers who team up to get their own back on society, everyone's in trouble, including themselves. The great combination of Mathau's dry, subtle wit and Williams' frenzied humour is a certain recipe for side-splitting laughter, a superb film with something for all the family. Re-releases in the RCA Columbia package include Silent Rage, Lady Chatterley's Lover, White Line Fever, and Hanky Panky. In Silent Rage, Chuck Norris, 6 times world karate champion, battled against a bionic killing machine which is terrorizing a small town in Texas. Needless to say, there's some brilliant action, some unbelievable moves, and of course the good guy wins against all opposition. Another passionately sensual performance by Sylvia Crystal in D.H. Lawrence's classic Lady Chatterley's Lover. Need I say more? The book caused a scandal when published, so much so that it was banned for many years, but now it's an extremely erotic film. White Line Fever, starring Jean-Michel Vinzron, portrays, do you like the accent? Portrays a lone trucker dangerously taking on the tough guys in a pure Mad Max tradition. Compelling, edge-of-the-seat, nail-biting stuff as he blasts his way to the thrilling conclusion, with some spectacular road battles along the way. And lastly, a hysterically funny movie from the team who brought you Stir Crazy. In Hanky Panky, Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner get caught up in absolutely lunatic world of intrigue, suspense and murder. Definitely worth watching. So now let's take a look at Conan and the rest of these great titles from RCA Columbia Video.
In an age when only the strongest survived, and only the ruthless triumphed, only one name became a legend. Conan, the Destroyer. In his first adventure, he fought alone.
It is written that a woman child must make a perilous journey. I want you to take her on that journey.
Now, he joins a wizard,
What are they going to do?
Have lunch.
a warrior,
There are 6 of them against her.
1, 2, 3, a renegade.
I think you're right.
And a princess. Together, they are sent by a treacherous queen across the lands of hostile kingdoms to solve the mystery of an ancient race and seek the power of a phantom city.
You're afraid of magic.
When it comes from evil,
This will.
come anyway.
The Horn of Dagoth, destroyer of worlds.
The god will live again.
Enough talk. If they cannot seize the horn in time, the world will be plunged into eternal darkness. Grace Jones, Wilt Chamberlain, Mako, Sarah Douglas, and Arnold Schwarzenegger as Conan, the Destroyer. The all-new adventures of the most powerful legend of them all.
Columbia Pictures presents 2 of the most outstanding performances of this or any other year in one unforgettable film. Tom Courtenay and Albert Finney in The Dresser.
Stand by for your curtain call, sir.
Mr. Gutstone, let's make up if you please. You're playing the Duke of Venice, not the Queen of the May.
World War II. Britain struggles for survival as a great actor struggles to go on.
How much further do you want me to go?
Only one man can help him. The Dresser.
Shouldn't we be getting to the theater?
The world sees only the performance. The Dresser sees the pain, the struggle, the humor, the vanity.
Have you good legs?
He seemed quite deranged. Sir, deranged? Never.
Master and servant, patient and nursemaid, the star and his dresser. A great actor faces the most devastating crisis of his career.
You're put through it night after night, and I haven't the strength.
His dresser faces the most difficult challenge of his life.
Struggle and survival, you say. It's all that matters, you say. Struggle and survival. The world's struggling for survival. So why shouldn't you?
They give each other the power to go on, to survive. Every year, one actor creates a role so outstanding that it is forever etched in the minds of audiences everywhere. The miracle of a great performance. This year, the miracle will happen twice in the same remarkable film. Tom Courtenay, Albert Finney, and a superb supporting cast. Eileen Atkins.
It's a disease. What is hopefulness?
Does the costume fit? You look.
Lockwood West. Zena Walker.
Louder! He wants it louder! Good night.
Night. great.
Edward Fox.
Death to all tyrants. I heard that, Mr. Oxenby.
A film of love, comedy, triumph, and devotion.
All right, so I'm here. This moment.
Columbia Pictures presents Albert Finney and Tom Courtney in The Dresser, the hero behind the man. The Dresser.
These are troubled times. We need leaders, men of courage, hope, and vision. This is not who we need. Robin Williams is Donald.
I think the world out there is coming undone like a cheap suit.
He just lost his job.
Now, you're gonna pre-play. You're fired.
His girlfriend.
But I'm not gonna be here when you get back.
Then he lost his mind.
Hey.
Walter Matthau is Sonny.
Hey, come on. A man's got to do what a man's got to do.
He got held up.
And I'm not wearing any underwear.
And blown up. Then he got a little fed up.
No, not a little, a lot.
Columbia Pictures presents a Michael Ritchie film, The Survivors, the story of two guys who decided it was time to speak up.
And we're tired of being victims, aren't we? I'm not afraid to go back.
Don't get them mad, Donald.
And the guy who decided to make them shut up.
You're gonna be two of the dead or something. You gotta have a stronger gut through.
Well, Mr. Hunky Mofo, take your best shot.
You know, this is one of the neatest times we have ever had.
Hey, survival training's gonna be fun. It's just gonna be like skiing except for booby traps.
You died! That's the way John Wayne would have done it.
Now you're mad at me.
He's more primitive than I thought.
Walter Matthau.
I think you're a total loony bird.
Robin Williams.
Sonny, mental defectives shoot people all the time. I think I could learn.
Jerry Reed.
Well, if you think I'm gonna let you shoot me so you look good for your friends out there, brother, you crazy.
Once they declare war on each other.
This one has your name and address on it.
You could die laughing.
Donald! Donald, you're alive!
The Survivors.
You can all go home now. Everything is under control. Let me rephrase that.
Damn fighters! You call the police?
Not me, boss.
Nobody call the police. You must be a mirage.
The master fighter of our time. But not even he could imagine the power of the indestructible man he is about to face. A creation of science whose only thought is to survive.
Can't you say you?
The unstoppable terror of silent rage. Now, Chuck Norris must destroy him.
Get watch out!
In a final battle to the death and beyond. Silent rage. She was born into the easy, graceful world of upper-class England. A world bruised by war. A world of high society and high morality.
England.
England.
And Germany. She was beautiful and sensual and bold. And she had everything money could buy. But she had a husband whose manhood was crippled by war. A man who could give her anything except...
Good night, Connie.
Love.
If ever there's another man who you absolutely want to make love to you, take him.
She ruled over all she could see, but she broke the rules. He was a peasant, a gamekeeper, a man of the soil, a man out of her class.
You think you've lowered yourself with me?
starring the captivating and seductive Sylvia Crystal as Lady Chatterley, Nicholas Clay, Shane Bryant. Lady Chatterley's Lover, based on D.H. Lawrence's controversial classic novel of love and passion.
They were a world apart, but they created a world of their own. They were haunted by the fear of discovery and of losing each other.
I couldn't live without you, but I couldn't live with him if he knew about you.
A classic novel which shocked millions. Now a classic film which will move millions. A love torn by class in the great tradition of Anna Karenina, Wuthering Heights, and Ryan's Daughter. The greatest love story of all, Lady Chatterley's Lover.
Carol Joe is back. Jerry waited 2 long years. Now it's time to make a life for themselves. He's an honest trucker who won't make deals.
I mean, I don't haul that stuff, I don't drive, huh?
That's right. Just keep your mouth shut and do as you're told.
But it gets tougher for both of them.
I'm pregnant, Carol Joe. And I've been thinking I wish I weren't.
They force him to fight back, their way.
My name's Carol Joe Hummer. I come to get work.
And next time you just might not be so lucky.
Get! But he won't quit. Get up! No matter what.
You're about to walk off a cliff, boy.
He's only gonna get you dead, man.
They got the muscle. They own the law.
You're under arrest for the murder of Dwayne Howard.
They terrify his wife.
Take the deal and let's get the hell away from here.
He's a working man who's had enough.
Hey, Bitty Dog, you know who this is. You call him and tell him I'm coming here.
Ride with Carol Joe on a trip you'll never forget.
This one's mine, darling. You'll have to find your own. Oh, God! Damn! I love you. Oh, what happened? What happened?
Shot her, Buck. He killed her.
God! Oh, call it, please! Hold it right there, boy. Here, take it.
When you're wanted for a murder you didn't commit.
Bend over! I'm wrapping you up, and I'm taking you in. Killer!
Chased for secrets you didn't steal.
I want to know what's going on here. And I want to know right now. Oh. I suppose it could wait till later.
And running from people who want to kill you.
Persuade him to commit suicide. Off a bridge.
The worst mistake you can make is to fall in love.
I'm the only one that believes you. I'm the only one that can help. Please let me. Stay here. I'll be right back.
Gene Wilder and Gilda Radner. Hanky Panky. A crazy, mixed-up comedy adventure.
All right. Who's the finger to fingers?
Michael, do something!
I am doing something! I'm crashing an airplane!
Heroes, villains, and explosive comedy. hanky-panky.
What do you mean? Just doing my job. Call it a fringe benefit.
How long you watch her?
Most of the night. They'd rest every few minutes. They get started again. Quite some.
I got a job for you. It's in reference to that gentleman and my wife. The more I think about it, the more irritated I get.
Huh? Just how irritated are you?
And now from CIC Video, 6 great new titles. Star Trek 3, Iceman, The Keep, Racing with the Moon, Tank, and Testament. If you're a fan of Captain Kirk and his crew, you'll thoroughly enjoy Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock. In my opinion, the most exciting film yet in this series. By the way, Star Trek 4 is already in the making, and no doubt will soon be available on video as well. Search for Spock is a fabulous array of special effects, cleverly directed by the man himself, Leonard Nimoy. The story picks up where Wrath of Khan left off, so if you've been clinging to the edge of your seat ever since, don't lose any time in seeing this sequel. Also coming soon from CIC is Iceman, an intriguing story about the discovery of a prehistoric caveman frozen in ice for 400 centuries. It tackles a tough and all too easily laughable topic with skill, and newcomer John Lone gives a particularly sensitive performance as the caveman. Definitely worth watching. Within the walls of The Keep, another of their titles, lies an evil more hideously powerful than even the most diseased imaginings of an SS killer. It's a macabre tale. When the German unit are sent to garrison The Keep, they are murdered one by one, night after night, driving the survivors mad with fear. Riveting stuff. Tank is an unusual drama of love, humour and loyalty, and stars James Garner as Zach Carey, who takes the law into his own hands, with a little help of his own personal World War II Sherman tank. It's a thrilling salute to personal ideals, produced by Irwin Yablans, who brought both Halloween and its sequel to the screen. And finally from CIC Video, Testament. It's based on a short story entitled The Last Testament, written by the aptly named Carol Amen. Carol Weatherly, Jane Alexander, is an ordinary housewife living in California's suburbia with husband Tom, played by William Devane, and children Brad, Mary Liz, and Scotty. One day, when Tom heads off to San Francisco on business, the unthinkable happens. The city is flattened by a nuclear strike. Carol must try to keep what remains of her family together as around her, with agonizing inevitability, the radiation begins to take its toll.
Now, join the search to the final frontier of space adventure.
Continuing voyages of the starship Enterprise. Her ongoing mission to explore strange new worlds, to seek out new life forms and new civilizations, to boldly go where no man has gone before.
Admiral James T. Kirk and the crew of the Enterprise take off on their greatest mission, beyond anything they have ever accomplished before.
Kirk, you do this, you'll never sit in the captain's chair again.
For the one thing that really matters, to find their friend.
Why did you leave him on Genesis? Spock trusted you.
An odyssey to the planet man created. A savage world that could destroy them all.
Fireman Scott.
The needs of the many outweigh
the needs of the few. Join the search. Sense the overwhelming power of an adventure that trebles anything that has gone before.
This entire crew seems on the edge of obsessive behavior concerning Mr. Spock.
Sir, security reports the door to Spock's quarters has been forced.
Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.
this place? No one knows for sure.
This place was not built to keep anything out. This place was built to keep something in.
You must not stay here.
Something has been released.
Something.
Did you find what you were looking for? Did you expect to find me?
What are you? Whatever kills us gets in anyway. Nothing we do, no security works.
What's happening to me?
The Keep. The Keep. Coming soon from Paramount Pictures.
Sergeant Major Zach Carey was not your everyday commuter.
You're the only one in the U.S. Army who owns his own fully operational Sherman tank, for one thing. Are you kidding me? I thought everybody had one of these.
The Army was his career.
What sort of father is your dad?
Cross between George Patton and Danny Thomas.
Your division sergeant major is all alone in the battalion field.
But peace was his profession.
Hey, you don't want to do that.
Is that right?
How would you like it if somebody went?
Until he got on the bad side of a sheriff who didn't have a good side.
Somebody marked up your face when you was on duty. And who was it marked you up when you was out representing me? I want to know everything there is to know about that, Sergeant Major.
William Carey.
Yes, sir.
Is this your lockup?
Yes, sir.
It'd be enough to get that little boy yours at least 2 years on the county farm, maybe 3.
I didn't do anything. Somebody else's lock was on my locker. Somebody else did
I know. The sheriff is using you to get to me.
We are getting a lawyer, and that's all there is to it.
Now they've got his son.
Not any more lawyer noise. And that kid's going to be shot trying to escape.
And they've got the odds. But he's got the tank.
Oh, Lord. I do believe I got you covered. Oh, Jesus.
Can I go with you? I can't stay here no more.
Jump on.
Light out, Billy. I'm coming to get you.
You're crazy. You're going to get us all killed.
Come out of that tank! Come out or I'll burn you out!
Today in Clementsville, in what has to be the most unusual prison break in recent history, Sergeant Major Zach Carey broke his son William out of the Clemens County Correctional Facility using a World War II Sherman tank. The sergeant and his crew are rapidly becoming folk heroes.
We're not running away from the law. We're running to the law, Bill. We're going to win.
They're going to lose, General.
See that cracker try and stop a tank.
Zach Carey won't tread lightly on the men who took his son. Tank.
It was a day like any other. Televisions glowed, radios blared. Breakfasts were being served. Children were playing. Everything was as it should be. When suddenly, it could never be that way again.
It was 1943, and young men were counting the days until they would go off to war.
When do you leave?
Next month.
In just 4 short weeks, me and my buddy here are gonna be proud members of the United States Marine Corps.
Get back where you belong!
Yeah, this war is driving them all crazy.
Duck hopper!
I heard the Nazis got this thing, right? It comes right out of the ground and goes right for it. Blows the whole package right off. 1 second you're John Wayne, and the next you're Minnie Mouse. I just hate to see you spend the last few weeks of your manhood chasing something you can't catch.
How'd you like the flowers?
Oh, so you're the one. Well, at least you're harmless.
So tell me about Michael.
Like, is he my boyfriend or something?
Excuse me?
Oh, I get it. You want a picture for your wallet. You want some girl who's gonna send you flowers and poems.
Don't you ever think about anything but hiking up some girl's dress?
Like what? Look, I've got this under control, all right?
Mickey, you promised.
Stop saying I promised you. Why do you have to come here?
That girl you saw last night, Nicky got her pregnant.
What the hell's the matter with you?
You, Nicky, you know what's the matter with me? You're always making your life a mess, and I'm always getting you out of it.
Hop, since when did you become such a saint, huh? Huh, Hop? The only difference between me and you is you've been lucky, that's all!
In the last few weeks, being around you, I think about things.
Like what sort of things?
Coming back.
Sean Penn, Elizabeth McGovern, Nicolas Cage.
Race with me! Race with me, Hop!
Racing with the Moon.
The T is for too much. The D is for dynamic, and the K is for kaleidoscope of sounds. The A is for amazing. The D is simply dynamite. That's TDKAD, my friend. It's such a magic sound. TDK, it's true what people say. TDKAD has so much individuality.
Hundreds of years, the leaders of Britain went to schools like this.
Fall in! Boy up!
Then the system was betrayed.
How's that? Out! You were a disgrace to the house, you were a disgrace to the entire school.
I reckon that's worth the full 6 strokes.
I just thought you ought to know. I should go straight to Mr. Farquharson and give him the names of all the people I've...
You've no idea what life in England in the 1930s was like. Treason and loyalty. They're all relative, you know. Treason to what? Loyalty to whom? That's what matters.
One learns so much about life in the army.
Yeah.
Killing people.
He rebelled against his family.
How dare you talk like that?
He outraged his friends. Then, finally, he betrayed his country.
You completely lost your mind.
I've always wanted fame. I've always liked the idea of my name going down in history.
Was it treason?
God, if our parents only knew what actually went on here.
They do know. Parents spend hundreds of pounds a year sending us to this prison so we can be educated. We spend the entire time playing games.
Quite right, too. Games are good for Bolsheviks.
Was it love?
See, it is an established fact that people who go around suspecting vice in others are highly suspect themselves.
Was it loyalty?
I'm afraid I shall be nominating Devonish for the gods next term instead of you.
Or was it another country? Introducing Rupert Everett in his highly acclaimed performance as Guy Bennett. With Colin Firth, and animosity. An intrigue so secret, shared by the few, that one day would become a legend. The legend of another country.
Polygram Video present Best Revenge, a 1984 theatrical release. It's a thriller about drug smuggling, comparable in quality and style to Midnight Express. John Hurd, of Cat People fame, plays Charlie, a man forced into a drug smuggling mission by an American gang boss who's holding his best friend as a hostage. It's an extremely tense movie, and the music by Keith Emerson supports the plot admirably. Odyssey, whose product is now distributed for them by Polygram, announced the release of 2 titles, The Cartier Affair and Richie. The Cartier Affair stars Joan Collins, the ageless star of The Stud and The Bitch, and of course Dynasty. The film has the same flavour as the classic screwball comedies of the 30s. Joan Collins plays a beautiful but disenchanted TV sex star who seems to have everything. Well, almost. Richie is a true story depicting the anguish and heartbreak resulting from a teenager's growing dependence upon addictive drugs. Richie's shyness and lack of confidence make him more than susceptible to the lure of escapism. The outcome is understandably tragic. When Richie threatens his father with a carving knife, it goes to show that blood isn't thicker than water.
First, there was the French Connection. Then came the drama Midnight Express. Now, the compelling Best Revenge. Long enough to set up the biggest deal of his life.
Could be a hell of a deal, if the man's good for the money.
This man ain't good for nothing but money. There's money in this, big money.
If it works, it's worth millions. If not, they'll spend the rest of their lives in jail.
If there is money, anything can be arranged.
The first rule is you have to trust your partner.
The second rule is don't ever trust anybody.
Don't trash somebody just for a lousy $10,000.
It started in New York. For a friend's life, Charlie was forced to go to Morocco.
You know we're coming?
No secrets in Morocco, Charlie.
Now Charlie's in trouble, caught in a web of police corruption and gangland double dealing.
I know what you're doing, and I don't want you to take any more risks. It's not your deal, Charlie.
It's my deal now.
Betrayed and scared, for Charlie, revenge is just getting out alive. Best Revenge. Starring John Hurd and Levon Helm, with a sinister soundtrack by Keith Emerson. Best Revenge, rated 18.
Introducing Joan Collins in her latest movie.
Monica, will you come and help me with the dress?
I had a lot more on my mind today than just horseback riding.
She's Cartier Rand, soap opera superstar.
You've never kissed a woman before.
It's been a real pleasure working with you, Miss Rand.
Mr. Taylor here is very capable, trustworthy, professional,
He's Kurt Taylor, an ex-con trying to go straight.
and gay.
Send him over tonight.
he's got the key to her heart. And the key to her security system.
Now, just a few days and already involved in a jewel robbery. Be grateful you're in here with me, gentlemen. It's an ugly world out there.
The Cartier Affair. A story about seduction.
And it brings out the turquoise in your eye.
Corruption.
That leaves the remaining balance of $34,950. You have a week and a half.
And a robbery that goes very wrong. Starring Joan Collins.
I don't want to be an elephant girl. I do not want to be tested like a chemical. And most of all, I passionately do not want to be in love with her.
Hang on, Cartier.
With David Hasselhoff. If the police don't get him, then Drexler, in the shape of Telly Savalas, will.
Where you are, Kurt? I'll find you.
I have the uncomfortable feeling that you've done this sort of thing before.
You have as much fun with your last secretary?
The Cartier Affair.
Do you think I really need a small gold statuette to validate my career? Yes. You know, I've suddenly come to realize how really brutal honesty is called for.
Those of you who are just starting with us, I want you to understand this is your group. I'm only here to expedite and make things easier. You all have at least one thing in common. You have a child who's been arrested for holding drugs.
This is the story of Richie, the story of a boy whose lust for life was destroyed.
You can be anything you want to be, if you don't let drugs and those friends of yours destroy it.
Rich. Why not? I don't want to get started.
Well, she has a son who had a drug problem, and ever since they've been going to the clinic, he's been doing a whole lot better.
Richie won't go.
He would if you went with him. If we all went together, it is a family problem.
Richie's the family problem. He's the only problem this family's got.
Images torment Richie's mind. Images that are a force to tear the fabric of his family apart.
You fly her around and you see exactly what the problem is. High, low, wide. And you try again. It gets better and better and better.
Go away. Go away. Leave me alone.
Yeah, well, filing a wayward conduct petition is very unusual.
I want him to stop. Realize what he's doing.
Get out of my way.
You're not going anywhere.
You better do what I tell you, man. I got a razor right here. You stand there and I'll use it.
If you hate us so much, everything that we are, everything that we believe, then why don't you just go away?
You will never forget the true story of Richie, starring Ben Gazzara, Eileen Brennan, and Robbie Benson as Richie.
Entertainment in video steam in this month with no fewer than 8 new and forthcoming releases, including the return of Captain Invincible, Treasure of Doom, Alley Cat, and Ghoulies, the ghostly kind. But their 2 lead titles are, without doubt, going to be Codename Wild Geese and Manhunt. An all-star cast including Lewis Collins, Ernst Borgnine, Klaus Kinski and Lee Van Cleef star in the action thriller Codename Wild Geese, which is due out theatrically later this month and on video shortly afterwards. The film is the first starring Lewis Collins since the highly successful Who Dares Wins. And EV's acquisition of the title marks the first of several big-name star features set to appear on the label during 1985. Former SAS Colonel and Falklands veteran Wesley, played by Lewis Collins, is employed by a wealthy Hong Kong businessman to mount an anti-drugs exercise within the Golden Triangle, the opium-producing area of southern Asia. This man, Brenner, presents himself as a benefactor whose objective is to rid the world of a menace. Also apparently involved is the International Drugs Agency, an arm of the United Nations. The IDA's best agent, Fletcher, played by Ernst Borgnine, and Brenner's agent, Charlton, played by Klaus Kinski, have made preparations. Everything appears above board, if not exactly open, Wesley hires China, played by Lee Van Cleef, a daredevil war veteran and helicopter pilot, to help him. China, whose employer was the CIA, flew supply missions to the war zones with the Flying Tigers and piloted the last helicopter to leave the roof of the US Embassy in Saigon. With the rest of their hired team of mercenaries and some local recruits, they set out to destroy the depot. But what they find there leads them into yet more danger, and the mission takes on an even more sinister aspect. Great action and stunts set this film firmly on a course for success. Manhunt stars the younger son of John Wayne, the Duke, appearing in his first film role. Manhunt, it's a contemporary western and co-stars Ernst Borgnine and Bo Svensson. The story, based on actual events, is set in the Arizona desert. A young man, Wayne, has recently bought a magnificent herd of horses. In taking them to the water, he crosses into privately owned land and is confronted by armed men. Just then, the owner himself, Borgnine, draws up in a jeep and, seeing the horses, resolves to get them for himself. He accuses the young fellow of stealing the animals and has him arrested. Wayne is sentenced to jail, where he receives extremely rough treatment from the brutal guards. Naturally enough, thoughts of revenge are uppermost in his mind. Having managed to escape, he heads straight for his accuser and kidnaps him. The chase is on, but fate has a surprising twist in store.
Judgment of this court that the defendant be incarcerated in the custody of the Arizona Department of Correction.
Hong Kong was where it began. Wesley, a soldier of fortune, was on his way to meet with those who would change his destiny, with people like himself who accept death as a way of life.
Neither my country nor any of the other governments involved will ever recognize your operation officially.
We get paid. That's explanation enough.
We want to go into the triangle and burn a little opium. It's 2 days' work against 2 years in jail.
People in the triangle aren't very nice.
They were not afraid to fight, even though the odds meant that some of them would surely die. But the purpose of their mission changed when they became the target.
Material requisitioned. Operation is go. Over and out.
$10 million. A whole year's harvest check. You find them and make it slow. I want them to suffer.
When you said they were 5 hours late, I just had to see you.
6. Just call the base captain. No news.
You all right? Sure. We're only screaming to scare them.
Starring Lewis Collins, Lee Van Cleef, Ernest Borgnine, and Klaus Kinski.
He's the greatest son of a bitch of them all. And he's surrounded by a crowd of rapists, thieves, and killers.
They are the men with the code name Wild Geese.
I want something great. I want something that nobody's ever done before.
In 1964, Eddie Wilson had the hottest rock and roll band in the country. Then one night, his car went off a dark New Jersey bridge. His body was never found.
When the moon hung soft and low, kitchen stars the light.
Don't understand. Now Eddie died, the cruisers died with him.
There was magic in the night.
You don't really think Eddie's still alive, do you?
He was the hero of the day until the system knocked him out of the skies.
Flying without a pilot's license. Wearing underwear in public.
40 years ago, he said he'd never fly again. And for good reason.
I couldn't even tell the good guys from the bad guys.
But when his country calls...
We need you badly, Captain Invincible. We need you now. Real badly.
When the evil Mr. Midnight threatens America.
Today, New York. Tomorrow, the world.
It's time for the return of Captain Invincible, the hero who's forgotten how to fly, how to use his amazing computer brain, forgotten how to control his magnetic ability.
What the world needs now is a shining hero. What the world needs now is a glory man who will fly down and save the day.
It's the return of Captain Invincible, legend in leotards, chief contender, and man of magnet. Fighting evil. Fighting booze.
Choose your booze! Let's hit the red eye! There's nothing sicker in society than a lack of liquor and sobriety. So, drink, 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 drink!
And fighting bull. Bull, bull, bull. The return of Captain Invincible. Everything's going to be just great again.
Captain Invincible, that's so.
I'm Jack Death. I'm a trooper in the 23rd century.
Jack Death, Angel City PD. May I see your stats?
What did I do?
Under Section 7 of the Penal Code, the Council authorized me to administer you a transfer suspect examination.
You can't give me a TSE without a warrant.
I got your warrant right here, pal.
Okay. I don't want any trouble.
Hold out your...
My job is hunting trancers.
I got nothing to hide.
Finding them and singeing them.
Look out!
Of course, sometimes they find me first. Then it's a little more complicated.
How do you know Whistler's location?
We monitored a line disruption in Los Angeles, December 1985. Van Zandt, Ash, and I all had ancestors in the city then.
If you think I'm bringing that scum up the line, you got the wrong trooper.
Unless you stop Whistler, everything the Council has accomplished for the last 40 years will count for nothing.
Okay, let's say I believe this. You're a cop from the future and you're chasing this guy Piper.
Whistler.
Why doesn't he just turn you into one of these zombies? Or me?
Trancing only works on squids, people with weak minds, easily controlled. Lena, I'm from another time, another world. I don't even know what you people eat for lunch.
Okay, I got fried rice, egg rolls, and beef chow mein.
Beef? You mean like from a cow?
I thought it was rough in the 23rd century.
I didn't know how hot it could get.
Jack?
How's my tan? It was getting hotter all the time.
Jack?
I guess I just attract a certain element no matter what century I'm in.
This way, mister!
Anyway, I gotta run now.
I want to ride with the lady.
Over here, Ashby!
Jesus! Sure enough, glad I kept my cop coat!
Jack Death is back. And he's never even been here before. Trancers.
Jonathan is having a housewarming party.
Whoa! What do you guys want to do?
Well, we could play hide and go seek.
Yeah.
What about Trivial Pursuit?
Yeah.
Strip poker.
Yeah.
I got an idea. Let's do a ritual.
Bow hey. Yod hey, bow hey. To do the hokey pokey and you turn yourself. Hey, knock it off. Come. I order thee. In the name of the most holy Trinity. Come. I order thee. Well, that was fun. No, wait. I need to dismiss the spirit. So do I. Where's the bathroom? Upstairs.
Unfortunately, there will be some surprise guests. They have very bad manners. And they have no respect for privacy. They'll wake up the neighbors.
What the hell's in there?
And they never take no for an answer.
Man, that chick is really a screamer.
Ghoulies, once they show up, you can never get rid of them. Ghoulies. They'll get you in the end.
In this part of the city, every street is a dead end. On every corner, something to buy. In every alley, another way to die. To survive, you've got to be the best.
Don't mess with girls in the park! That's not nice!
Just like the alley cat. Alley cat. This lady owns the night. On the streets, where even the predators become victims.
I thought you boys wanted to play.
She knows how to survive.
You ought to stay out of the park. It's bad for your health.
Cross her,
Come on, alley cat!
and you've run out of luck. Alley cat. This animal is aroused.
The heat of the Amazon can bend minds and destroy souls. Living is a struggle that only the meanest can endure. And the search for unimaginable riches turns men into animals, fearless in the pursuit of what they believe is freedom from their own private hell.
Hey, that's a German. Who was that son of a bitch?
Gringo the Damned. Or Gringo, the madman. Nobody seems to know, really.
A lot of people think it was the whiskey. But I know it's what happened in there.
Stuart Whitman is Gringo, the man who's been to the edge of the abyss and left his humanity behind.
You keep your nose out of my affairs. Otherwise you get it blown off.
Diamond, the Stasi rise.
And warriors who believe that taking the life of an enemy will make them immortal.
You couldn't get into that jungle without me. You sure as hell can't get out without me. So just remember that.
But when the law of the jungle takes over, it's only the fittest who survive. But what is the price of survival? With Donald Pleasance, Bradford Dillman, John Ireland, and Anne Sidney. Treasure of Doom will leave you breathless.
Among the CBS Fox video releases this month are Under the Volcano, Terminal Choice, and Mr. T, the toughest man in the world. Under the Volcano, based on the best-selling classic by Malcolm Lowry, is a powerful drama of three characters caught in a triangle of infidelity, jealousy and suspicion. The cast is certainly star-studded, with such great names as Albert Finney, Jacqueline Bisset and Anthony Andrews, all performing magnificently. Terminal Choice will make your blood run cold, with a routine operation ending in a bloody death and medical staff taking bets on the patient's chance of survival. No, it's not a wild fantasy, it's a shocking nightmare of murder, with a computer as the culprit. Starring David McCallum, this is a spine-chilling mystery suspense movie which shouldn't be missed. And finally, the amazing Mr. T stars as the explosive Bruce Brubaker in The Toughest Man in the World. CBS Fox Video are so sure of the tremendous following that Mr. T has, because of the A-Team, that they are even considering the possibility of promoting this title on television, presumably on the Noel Edmonds Show. Bruce enters the Toughest Man in the World competition in order to raise money for a Kids' Day centre. He has to win, for the kids, for himself, and more importantly to show that right is might. However, his opponent has other, more sinister ideas, and Mr. T ends up fighting for his life instead. So now, sit back and let's take a look at Mr. T and the other titles from CBS Fox.
Albert Finney gives the finest portrayal of an alcoholic ever seen on the screen in Under the Volcano, an exotic and passionate drama set in pre-war Mexico. Joining him in this masterful movie, Jacqueline Bisset as his wife and Anthony Andrews as his brother are both the cause and the cure for his pitiful condition.
Right here, old man. There we go.
I wonder what this is like.
Jeffrey! Not bad.
I'll do anything. I'll stop drinking. I'll do anything for you.
If I'll forgive my asking like this, but have you really come back to him? Or what?
Yes. I've come back to him.
As the conflicts in this awkward triangle simmer uneasily in the heat, Finney carries his drunken despair with a sort of dignity and humour which suggests the man he must once have been.
All right. I say, what's the matter here?
Nothing. Absolutely all right.
Well, now, look, if you're absolutely sure that you're feeling all right, I'd better be pushing off. Trouble. Don't go falling into roads anymore, will you? You might get run over or run in. Bloody awful road, isn't it?
Dreadful, dreadful.
Well, the weather's splendid. Cheerio.
Dodson Clinic, sometime in the future, where technology and medicine meet, and the patients are given a terminal choice.
Okay, put me down for $600.
Thank you, Dr.
I'll have 20 weeks at 6 to 1 for $100.
Await further instructions.
So make it 75 bucks at 25 weeks.
Reprogram. Reprogram.
What happens if she dies?
Either somebody else punched that in or the computer screwed up. I got a little gambling game going. Gambling? On what? You can start edging for the door right now. You can show me a couple of things about the computer.
Illegal command. Illegal command.
Come on, let me see you kill somebody.
The Toughest Man in the World stars the magnificent Mr. T as the life and soul of a youth centre in the tough part of town. Mr. T makes it his business to keep his young recruits off the streets and out of trouble.
I'll start hassling decent people. I make it my business.
And he takes no nonsense from any of them.
I deal with every kid with an even hand, and nobody give me no back talk. I'm gonna play.
When lack of funds threatens the centre's survival, Mr. T pins his hopes on the $100,000 prize in the Tough Man contest.
Nobody closing down my center for my kids.
With the kids' help, he trains to perfection and faces the challenge of the contest with the anxious support of the whole community.
Alas, poor Yorick. Never used Super Avalon videotape from TDK. The great name in tape cassettes.
Well, that about wraps up this latest edition of Trailer Epics. But I would just like to thank Embassy Home Entertainment for making their boardroom available and hope that we'll be back here soon. Till then, goodbye.